Hi there. Happy Sunday. Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist T.J. Springer here in the Storm Center for a little breakfast chat on the rest of our weekend, the heat, the humidity, and everything in between. So let me know where you're watching from. Hop on and say hi. I see 16 of you watching on Facebook. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. I see 16 of you watching on YouTube as well. Tim Henry of Music Life, good morning from Mexico. Oh my gosh, I love that. Hi to you in Mexico. Hi, Kevin. How are things in Lakeland? Hi, Sharni. Hi, Crimezilla. What is up? Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Joseph, how are you? Enjoy your Saturday as well. Thank you. Well, it is no secret that the heat is on. That is our big story. It is going to be a sweltering day. We can see the beach already getting crowded. I can only imagine the beach is going to be a hot spot across Central Florida today, whether it's the beach, whether it's the water park, whether it's the pool. Myself and Amanda this morning, we had a story on, I'm trying to think what police force it was. But nonetheless, it was a water gun fight, a super soaker battle. And I don't know about you. If so, let me know in the comments because I would love to know. I loved having water gun fights as a kid. I thought it was a blast. And it was a great way to stay cool too, right? You got to pump up, your water gun, get water balloons, whatever the case may be. It was always fun. And it was just great to hang out with your friends. Horatio, hello. Good morning to you in Bithlow. How's it going? Paul, hello to you in West Palm. What's up? Happy Saturday. It's quiet out there too, from downtown Orlando to Lake Fairview to the Space Coast. It's going to be a drier day because of this ridge of high pressure in control. And that's going to be one of the big reasons too why we have the heat, that ridge. Now you can see the surface high pressure off to our east, but that's at the surface. Now upstairs the atmosphere, that upper ridge is right on top of us, and that means that we're going to have sinking air. That means we're going to have more heat, essentially. Kathy, how are you? It is Saturday. What does something say Sunday? Let me see here. I don't see anything about Sunday, Kathy. I'm not sure what you're seeing. But it is Saturday. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Karen, hi. How are you? Good morning to you in Leesburg. And for those of you that don't know, we're also live on Fox Local. So if you have not downloaded the Fox Local app, you can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on Facebook. But if you're watching on Fox Local, you can have that on your smartphone, on your smart TV, your iPad, whatever the case may be, and then you can also watch on your phone and ask questions. So you can kind of do both. Jocelyn, hi to you in Flagler. Love it. Thanks for hopping on and joining me. I so appreciate it. Well, here's the big picture. It's dry because of the ridge. It's quiet because of the ridge, but it's also extremely hot because of the ridge. Temperatures are already now in the upper 80s. Good morning to you in New Smyrna. Orlando 84, nearly 90 in Bushnell. Oh my goodness. And it's not even 11 o'clock. That's why it's an impact day. Made it an impact day because of the heat. We have heat advisories, and I'll show you those here in a moment. It's already feeling like 100 degrees in Cocoa Beach. It feels like 102 in Gainesville, 104 in Palm Coast, 104 in Bushnell. Hi, Janice. Oh, I love that you're up the block in Lake Mary. That's awesome. You're right down the road. That's spectacular. Well, thank you for joining me. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, it is just going to be a brutal day. So if you can find something around water, I think that was that was the point I was trying to make this morning. Joseph, you're saying, can we fry an egg on the sidewalk? It's funny. I've never tried to do that, and maybe I should know the exact temperature to fry an egg. I actually don't know. But pavement with this kind of heat can get up close to 150 degrees, if maybe hotter. I don't know what the temperature of our stove is, a stove, to fry an egg, but it might take a little longer to cook it. But I would only imagine in the heating of the day, the pavement temperatures are just going to be obscenely hot, so you might be able to fry an egg on the sidewalk. If you're hitting the theme parks, if you're hitting up Magic Kingdom today, I can only think Tiana's Bayou Adventure, because that's essentially the only water ride. Oh, you're just joking, Joe. You know what? Hey, it's like if any of you have lived in a much colder climate than Central Florida, where you have the boiling pot of water, you throw it, and it essentially turns into, smoke or steam. You see that phase change from water to a gas. So I thought it was like that. I'm sure people will try to fry an egg, just like watching crayons melt or something like that. Hey, Carrie, what's up in Apopka? Dina, what is going on? How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm jealous you're on the lake in Lake Wales. I'm so jealous. We were on Lake Mineola yesterday in Claremont, and I thought that was just gorgeous. That was my first time in Claremont. And I couldn't believe the hills, too, either. It was such a pretty drive. Okay, so there are some storm chances today. They're minimal, but we do have some spotty storm chances. In a time check, 10:39. If you're watching us on Fox Local, we're going to have a quick 2-minute break, but don't go away. Our stream continues all the way up to 11 o'clock if you're watching us on Fox Local. But we're a little less restrictive on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're watching us on Fox Local, we'll have that 2-minute break here in just probably about 30 seconds or so. All right, highs today. Mid-90s inland, still with the help of the sea breeze, it'll be a little bit cooler. I mean, we'll take it, right? Any amount of coolness, so to speak, we will definitely. Oh, all right. I'm back on YouTube. Ram, you're saying, did I say happy Sunday? I'm sorry if I apologize if I said happy Sunday. I am so sorry. Thanks for catching that. I appreciate it, Ram. And let's see. Kathy, thanks for catching that as well. I apologize. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. I need to have another cup today. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Thanks for hopping on from Deltona. And, when you talk about the high, say, in the 90s, that's above normal. Our average is 92. The humidity is going to make it feel more like around 110 degrees. So this is why we've made it an impact day. We have heat advisories all across Central Florida, and these are going to be in effect from noon to 6. I mean, it's still going to be hot, even outside of this time frame, but it is really going to be hot in the noon to 6 window. Nothing to mess around with. It is going to be a brutal feeling day, but if you can find yourself around some water, I think it'll be a little bit better. All right, lows tonight, we're back down into the mid-70s. Anything shower and storm related that does spark up, and we'll show you here our Fox weather model in a moment. They'll fade away. We'll lose that daytime driven instability. When you have a ridge of high pressure, the atmospheric profile isn't conducive for really strong storms. The heat and humidity will drive the development along with some lift, which is going to come from the sea breeze, but I don't really think we're going to see anything all that widespread. So let's time it out here. Here's our Fox weather model. Here's Futurecast. Through the remainder of the day, you can see some spotty development, some isolated showers, maybe a storm or two, a rumble of thunder. Through dinner time, if you have any plans to maybe do some grilling, some barbecuing on the back deck, the patio, I would say just hop on the Fox 75 Storm Team app or the Fox Local, or look out the window. Just see if it's not pouring down rain. Check the radar, because there still could be a few showers or storms around. They'll fade away tonight. We'll start our Sunday off in a similar fashion as to how our Saturday kicked off. Bright, muggy, and then in the afternoon again with the sea breeze coming in and a few showers and thunderstorms. Chances are only around 20% today. That is kind of atypical for the rainy season, right? Carrie, it's been very hot. Oh my gosh, yeah, I agree. And I believe, I want to check this out, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this is our first heat advisory of the year. So this is likely going to feel like the hottest. It will be likely the hottest weekend of the year, or at least rival it, but it'll feel that way for sure. Okay, so we're talking tropics now. If you're watching us on Fox Local, we're welcoming you back after a little short commercial break. So thanks for sticking with us. Crimezilla, yes. Hot, 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 and humid. I know. Just brutal. Okay. Bonnie, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm your favorite bow tie guy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending the love. Okay, so let's talk about the tropics. Two different areas of interest that we're watching. Now, we all remember, especially if you live local, but if you're watching this from afar, maybe you were seeing some news stories or whatever, but we had Invest 93L. That was this past week. And with this atmospheric setup, we might be seeing a return of not Invest 93L, but what is essentially left of that area of low pressure. Tropical moisture still in the atmosphere, going around that ridge, and as it does, it looks to move back into Florida, and you can see by midweek into Thursday, around a 30 to 40% chance of a tropical depression forming. For us, I would say we'll be watching it closely because it could bring more flooding potential, more heavy rain, more tropical downpours. But if it can organize enough, it may be able to become a depression. And I know we never saw that depression form in the Gulf the first go round, but it's possible that we could see it this time. So that is something we will continue to watch closely. We'll start to see a change as we head through early next week. And you can see that still we keep that around 30 to 40% chance in the late week. So that's going to be the best tropical potential that we have here closer to home, at least for the time being. But there is an area of interest now in the Atlantic, kind of closer to the main development region. This wave, it's disorganized, but it is a tropical wave nonetheless. It's producing showers and thunderstorms. And as it continues its westward trek, we are going to see the potential, at least, for a little development. Not a great chance. A 10% chance over the next couple of days. A 20% chance, over the next week. But I do think that, at least from what we can see, this organized tropical wave is going to get torn apart by a more hostile environment, some wind shear, as we head through next week. So chances are slim, but it's something we're going to be monitoring nonetheless. So be sure you stay tuned to our latest forecast if you have plans to travel, whether it's this wave or what is churning eventually back down to Florida this week. Definitely want to monitor our latest forecast. But if you have plans to maybe travel to the Caribbean, say Puerto Rico or any of the Caribbean islands, something to watch closely as well. So here is the Fox 35 Storm Team 7-day. We'll throw this up. And this is certainly a steamy 7-day. No secret there. Mid-90s, running around 4 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And we can see the chances for rain going back up as we head through, especially Tuesday into midweek. But definitely going to be a wet stretch. And still wet even through Thursday and Friday. I don't think washout today's Tuesday will likely be the closest day. Tuesday into Wednesday, the closest we get to a washout, so to speak. So that's what we're going to be watching over the next few days. Okay, if you have any questions, throw them in. Let me know. I'm popping back over to Facebook and YouTube. I see 20 of you watching on Facebook, so thank you. I see 26 of you watching on YouTube. Oh, Sean, hello. All right, the next name for hurricane season, it is Dexter. So Dexter didn't form, but let me pull up. I can pull up our names for the year real quickly. Have that in my show. Here we go. So we've had Andrea, we've had Barry, we've had Chantal. Dexter is the next name up on the list. That is a great question. And, it's not impossible that Dexter could come with any of these. It just doesn't seem like it's likely with the setup that we have. That wave in the Atlantic right now looks disorganized, and this tropical moisture. Now, it is warm in the Gulf. We said that last time with Invest 93L, but it wasn't able to really organize enough before that tropical moisture moved inland. So, I mean, a depression certainly isn't out of the question, but right now chances aren't all that high either. But water temperatures are warm. You know, you look at the Atlantic, you look at the Gulf Stream. Temperatures in the Gulf and the Atlantic have really warmed up quickly, and you can still see some spots up closer to coastal Louisiana. Temperatures up close to 90. So it is that's fuel for the fire. It is hot. It's warm water, and that'll only make things worse if there is any sort of tropical disturbance that can feed off of that. All right, well, we're about to take another quick break on Fox Local here at 10:50. It is 10:49. Don't see too many of you watching right now, 18 of you on YouTube, but thanks for sticking with me. I only see 12 of you on Facebook right now. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Bianca. How's it going? Kathy, you're looking for rain in Miko. Well, let me go back to our Fox weather model real fast. I can pull that up. Okay, let me see here. Alrighty. That's a great question. Great question, Kathy. Let me pull back up our future cast here. And I'll show you our pops too. Chances aren't that great. Better chances inland with the sea breeze collision, but I would only say around 10% for you in Miko. You might not get any rain at all, really. But let me zoom in here. We can go through. So here we go. Sea breeze coming in. A little bit cooler for you in Miko. A little jealous, Kathy. It's going to be a brutal inland here. It's really not showing much on our Fox weather model. And honestly, it's probably going to be like that even for you. Maybe a stray shower storm, but definitely better chances inland over the next 48 hours. Seeing a few sprinkles up closer to I-95 across northern Brevard, but I hope that helps, Kathy. Hope that gives you a little better planning here for the next couple days. Ram, you're saying, I can imagine Hurricane Karen. That was good. Hopefully, I can only hope that we don't get that far, but we still have a ways to go in the season. All right, well, I'm going to leave up our tropical wave here. You know what? Actually, I know I didn't hit this yet. Let me talk a little bit about the dust. I know I didn't go through the dust yet. Let me do that real fast. All right, we're on a break with Fox Local. Let me see if I can find that real fast. I should have thrown that in my show, and that was my bad. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. So there is some dust kind of close to where that tropical wave is, and you can see more kind of heading in the direction of that. So between that and the hostile, more of the wind shear, that environment, I don't think that tropical wave is going to have much of a leg to stand on. But you can see that dust moving up our way late next week. That might make for some more fiery sunsets. If you're an allergy sufferer, you might notice some of that. But there's been a lot of dust coming off of Africa, and there's another plume that looks to move off the coast next weekend. So some good news for the tropics. Going to continue to hopefully keep the tropics somewhat quiet. But just like we saw with the Invest 93L this past week, because the water is warm, all the moisture in the air, it's still going to be something that, if anything can spin up and the environment is right, it'll be right for the strengthening. So that's certainly going to be something to watch. All right, I'm going to put back up our heat advisory graphic. If anybody has any questions, please throw them in. Welcome back if you were joining us on Fox Local for our little breakfast chat here. Kendra, I just saw your quote. You must have just been hopping on and watching. Yeah, I did say Sunday versus Saturday. I was worried that I wrote that, but I didn't. But I must have said it, so I apologize. You must be watching from the start. So sorry about that. I have to agree, or I have to say, sometimes the days just run together. I'm sure we've all been there, right? Where and especially for us, and for those that don't have a normal, quote unquote, normal Monday through Friday schedule, the days run together. So for those of you that don't know, Friday is my Monday, Saturday is my Tuesday, so on and so forth. So sometimes the days, especially when it's this early in the morning, the days get a little mixed up. So I apologize, Kendra, but thanks for catching that. I know Kathy caught that as well. Well, we'll be hanging out for another few minutes, but we did have a few top stories here this morning in the theme park world. We were talking about the new Disney show, and also I'm going to zoom out here because it does looks really, we don't need this much TJ. Okay, how's that? A little better? Alrighty, that was one of our stories that we had on Good Day Orlando this morning. We were talking about theme parks and the new show in Disney, the new Starlight show, which actually, if you follow the theme parks religiously like I do, it actually had a soft launch last night. Jared, hello to you. John, hi to you in Orlando. Oh, John, I love that. Happy Saturday. Watching on LGTV and now found the Facebook page. That is wonderful. Well, I'm so glad you were watching on your LGTV. That's spectacular. You'll have to let me know if you're watching on the Fox Local app or what you're watching us on. Oh, I love that you're watching in Ocala. That's great, Kendra. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can only imagine that we can do that in Arizona, frying an egg. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, let me pull this up. For those of you that don't know, this show kind of had a soft launch or a debut last night, but it officially debuts at Magic Kingdom Sunday. Today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow evening is going to be this new show. And if anybody maybe is watching or has got to see it, let me know how it was. I'm trying to be good and not trying to ruin the magic. I want to watch it tomorrow, but it's been all over social media. Okay, so here is the show. Disney Starlight. Dream the night away. If anyone has frequented the parks, remembers the Spectro Magic Parade at Magic Kingdom, remembers the Main Street Electrical Parade, whether that be in Disneyland or at Walt Disney World, this is going to be a great new tribute, a great new nighttime spectacular to keep the magic alive at night, because we haven't had a nighttime spectacular in Magic Kingdom for almost a decade now. So this is really exciting, especially if you are a big fan of the theme parks like I am. But you're going to get to see a ton of characters. It's led by the Blue Fairy, and the floats just look gorgeous. And there has been some sneak peeks of the soundtrack too. So I think it's really, really cool. And I think it's going to be a great new addition to Walt Disney World and to nighttime entertainment at Magic Kingdom. Okay. Another big story, and it's funny because we talked about ice cream last week. Tomorrow is National Ice Cream Day. So, with that, weigh in. Let me know what your favorite ice cream is. I have to say that my favorite, I don't know, I told Amanda this morning, if you were watching Good Day Orlando, I said that my favorite ice cream is cotton candy ice cream. I feel like I'm kind of an outlier with that. But I actually really do like cotton candy ice cream. if you've ever had cotton candy Dippin' Dots, they're the bomb. So weigh in, and we'll talk a little more about National Ice Cream Day tomorrow. I'll try to maybe put up a little poll or something if I can, make a little graphic or something. But tomorrow's National Ice Cream Day, and I'm sure we'll have something fun on Good Day Orlando tomorrow. Maybe we'll bring in some ice cream. Maybe we'll try some ice cream live on the air. Alrighty, well, it is 10:58. I'll hang out for a couple more minutes if anybody has any questions. Oh, Jared, you were asking about Sumter County. Let me pull back up the Fox weather model. Great question. All right, let me see here. I'll pull that up real fast. And I can actually show our 12-hour forecast here, too. This kind of tells the story as well. Jared, chances for rain today are not all that high, around 20% or so. Not typical rainy season weather. It's more abnormal, I would say, for this time of the year to have rain chances this low. You have to have the perfect pattern, I think, to have this low of a rain chance in Central Florida. Chances are slim, a little higher to the northwest with the way the wind orientation is. But let me pull up our futurecast here, our Fox weather model I can bring up. I can kind of show you Sumter County before we hop off here. Now, if you are watching us on Fox Local, thank you. We'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Join us at 10:30, for our breakfast chat. But we'll hang out here for at least another minute. We won't be so strict here on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, Sumter County. All right. Jared, I hope this helps. 3 o'clock, a few clouds bubbling up, maybe a stray shower or storm. You can see some of these dancing around Sumter County through late evening with the help of the sea breeze. They fade away. Similar start to our Sunday morning that we had today. And then some more hit or miss, or even more isolated, spotty, stray shower and thunderstorm activity for our Sunday afternoon and evening. So I hope that helps. Oh, Michael Wang and banana milkshake. That sounds great right about now. I would take that. I would certainly take that. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for hopping on. I appreciate you joining me. Thanks for weighing in. Thanks for all the questions and comments. And again, sorry for the Saturday, Sunday snafu. I'm going to drink myself another cup of coffee, I think. But we will see you again at 10:30 on Sunday morning for a breakfast chat. And if you're watching on Facebook, please share. Please get the word out. We want to get as many eyes and ears on these as we can because we love to do these. And a little teaser. I think we're going to be making these a little bit more of a production as we go into the future. Might be making these a little bit longer as well. So that is something to look forward to if you love hopping on Fox Local, Facebook, or YouTube and watching us. But stay cool out there today. Drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated. And we will see you again tomorrow morning.